52 for a high. Friday, the chance of rain increases exponentially, but it will only be rain. It looks like it'll only be rain on Friday and Saturday and Sunday with highs in the 50s and lows in the 30s. We were talking about it potentially being significantly colder, but that does not seem to be the case, at least as of now. They have removed us from that winter storm watch. It's all going to go north of Jefferson County, which is nice. If you're in Blount or Coleman County, we apologize, but that's just the way it is. Neener, neener, neener. I mean,
we are kind of excited that the ice is less of a factor in the Birmingham metro area, and some of the warm temperatures and moisture that's coming from the Gulf is helping with that a lot. Keep pushing north. Keep pushing north. You know what? Send it all to Tennessee. How about that?
Yeah, bring it on. Send it right up there. I know people in Tennessee, they deserve snow.
They sure do.
I want them to have it. How about that? Snow and ice. Yeah.
Make them deal with it. They deal with it more often than we do.
Donald Trump now seeking negotiations to acquire Greenland. He's talking about this at Davos. You know, we'll maybe carry some highlights from that a little bit later because he will go on and on. You never can tell what direction he's going in. He tends to ramble. I don't know if you've noticed or not.
Yeah, he does. You know, and I'm thinking last night with the issue with Air Force One, they had to turn around and go back 45 minutes into the flight, 7.5-hour flight without the problem. Did he get a few hours of sleep on the plane? I'm hoping.
He only sleeps about 4 hours a night. So if he wanted it, I'm sure he got it.
But he looks a little tired this morning.
Well, he does look a little tired.
I'm saying that because he's like, okay, yeah.
Did you see him when he stopped by the press room yesterday, press briefing room? And he was breaking out the pictures of all of the
holding them up one
criminals.
at a time.
Yes, you're like, oh, look, here's a guy who committed murder. This is international murder right here. And flip the page over. Here's somebody wanted for rape. They let him go. That's, you're like, wow. Okay, very impressive.
That's the way you do it.
Yeah.
Making the case. Instead of these protesters or agitators, they're not protesters.
No.
What they're doing is not protesting.
Dana Carvey and David Spade on the Fly on the Wall podcast. It's really one of the better podcasts out there. These two former Saturday Night Live alum. Also, they'll have guests on occasionally, but Carvey was doing his own Trump where Greenland was concerned, and it's all, it's only got 148 people. There's not a lot of people there, but how is it possible they like two guys in a rowboat get there like 800 years ago, and they stick a flag. They're like, it's ours now forever. We own this now for all time. How is that possible? How can that even be? It's like, yeah, that's a pretty good question, actually. So you just stick a flag in something. It's like, okay. I think that Denmark could benefit a great deal from the United States buying Greenland from them because here's the thing. They're not using it. They're not doing anything with it.
No, and again, for our national security, we really need to have a handle on that. If not, then it's going to be left to Russia or China to grab it up.
Security
That's where
for
we
us
are right
and for
now.
China. And you're going to make us go to war with Russia to preserve Greenland, an area we don't even own? No. I don't think so. They can have it. Flipsy's Furniture, a new location opening up in Hoover, right next to 2nd and Charles. It's right there across from the Galleria. If you haven't seen it, it's basically it's between 2nd and Charles and Ollie's over there. You should definitely swing by, and they're just getting open. They're in the process now. They've got some lovely displays, some absolutely fabulous furniture. It's all kind of Hoover-centric. Irondale is for the rest of us, everybody that doesn't live in Hoover, and then the Hoover store is for Hooverites, Hooverians. What do you call them? The Who's down in Hoover. That's what I'm talking about.
You're just making up all kinds of stuff.
Is that bad? Am I doing it wrong?
Hooverians.
Hoover
down in Whoville.
Exactly. Of course, in Irondale, 28,000 square feet of showroom, more in the basement. That's where they keep the area rugs. Make sure you check those out. And you will be astounded at the great low prices on the furniture you already know and love. Names that you've seen, names that you'll appreciate. Southern Motion recliners are unbelievable. They're so solid, so well built in America, and just absolutely great. Top-notch stuff at great low prices. You've got to stop by and see it or visit their website, flipsysfurniture.com. Flipsy's Furniture, 1811 Crestwood Boulevard. Designer furniture, wholesale prices, white glove delivery. Stop by and tell them you heard about it here.
And now, it's Dixon and Vining's top 3 things you need to know.
Yes, we did tell you about the problems with the plane that took place as the president was trying to leave the United States and get over to Davos. Now, we also have a Danish lawmaker who actually told the president, President Trump, to F off, except he didn't use, I didn't say fudge.
It was not fudge.
No, it was, it was the F dash 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 word. Yeah. Dear President Trump, listen carefully, said this Danish lawmaker, whose name I couldn't pronounce. It's got, it's Anders Vistisen.
It's
somewhere in there.
It's not worth it even
Can someone
knowing.
explain it to me? Like the Danes, you'll be reading along. It'll be like SV, the atomic symbol for boron. Like, what is that? What do they use different letters over there?
It's just to confuse Americans.
That's exactly what they're doing.
That's why they're doing it.
Anyway. Dear President Trump, listen very carefully. Greenland has been part of the Danish kingdom for 800 years. It's an integrated country. It is not for sale.
Is that how he sounded?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me put this in words you might understand, Mr. President. F off, he raged. Only he didn't say fudge.
No.
38-year-old,
he said the word.
38-year-old Vistisen finished his speech, and then the Speaker of Parliament President Nikolai Stefanin, felt the need to chime in on the profane insult and threaten consequences to the lawmaker. We're like, no, we're fine. You can swear
I think,
on
you know what?
floor.
Trump can take it.
Yeah.
He's got snake skin.
Don't think really he's
Bulletproof.
that worried about it.
Yeah, don't worry about it. He really is bulletproof.
He really, yep. We saw that.
Yeah.
He's good. What else can we tell you? There have been 2 daycare fires now in Opelika, fairly back to back. And accelerant was found in each one of these, which means they're most likely arson. Jars of accelerant found at the scene, probably used to start the fires.
Well, here's one way the investigators can start searching for this individual.
Yeah.
Mason jars
There
were
you go.
used.
That's right.
Where was the mason jar sold?
Probably somebody
Let's look
named
back.
Mason. That's what I mean.
No.
No?
And what kind of accelerant was put into the mason jar?
Could be anything. Kerosene.
weird.
Gasoline.
Gasoline.
Would be a good one, pretty obvious. Authorities said they're working to determine whether both incidents are connected. Anyone with information regarding the investigation asked to contact the Opelika Police, 334-705-5220. 334-705-5220. Or the Opelika Fire Department. You could look that one up yourself. How about that? Oh, the Wells Fargo Bank is moving. That's right. Becoming the first major bank to relocate wealth operations to Florida.
The Sunshine State.
Yeah, I kind of like it. They're moving their wealth management headquarters to West Palm Beach, underscoring a growing exodus of money and corporate influence from traditional financial hubs to low-tax, business-friendly states. Relocation makes Wells Fargo the first major U.S. bank to base its wealth management operations in the Sunshine State. Have a feeling others are going to be following.
Mm-hmm.
If not there, then Texas. We've seen one of them, Goldman Sachs, is improving and increasing their footprint in Dallas, which is interesting. A lot of money, by the way, in Texas as well.
No doubt.
So should be interesting to see how this goes. But folks are moving out of New York. They're moving out of California, and not just small businesses. Big businesses, names you know, names you love, are moving across the country to get into states that are a little more business-friendly. You say, well, what's the benefit to these states if they don't have, like, income taxes like they do? Florida doesn't have an income tax. Tennessee doesn't have an income tax. Texas doesn't have an income tax, state income tax. How in the world are they benefiting from this?
The jobs is one way.
Jobs is good.
Creation.
Very positive. Plus, they are paying corporate tax rates in those states, so you're getting that, obviously. And every single person that they employ is going to go out and buy things in the state and pay the sales tax on those things. So, yes, it really is a net benefit to the state. They're happy to have them. Notice how these states are running like, tops. Every one of them is spinning. Tennessee's running great. Florida's running great. Texas is running great. They've got a much lower or non-existent tax rate compared to, say, New York or California, where they are taxing the snot out of their people and running horrible.
Yeah, and it's one of those things, California is seeing that. We'll see more and more of that, especially with Mom Donnie now, the mayor of New York City. You're going to see more and more. And it all takes time. Give it a few years. But the sad part about New York City, and I know there's a lot of people that would love to vacation and see some of the sites there. I mean, would you visit New York City at this point
Not
with
today.
Mom Donnie in charge?
I would not.
Wouldn't touch it at all. There's plenty of other places you can go to, see America, but it's just a shame. And again, it's going to take a number of years of what Mamdani is about to do to destroy that city before people start realizing, you know what? I think I'm packing up and moving. I'm going to Florida.
Mhm.
I'm going to Texas.
Oh,
I'm going to get out of here.
a lot of folks already on their way.
Mhm.
It's happening even as we speak. Parrott Structural Services can bring your foundation back where it needs to be. ParrottSS.com. When your foundation starts to go south, there are a myriad of companies in the Birmingham metro area that can help you, work with you. Some of them are a little less than on the up and up. I hear horror stories about folks who say, oh my gosh, $30,000 worth of repairs that need to be done. And they crawl under the house. They show up for a couple of days and bang around under there. And then you find out that, you look under there's just guys banging with hammers underneath the house. They're not touching anything. They're not doing anything. Your house was fine the whole time. You just took the wrong person's word for it. This is why Parrott Structural Services says get a structural engineer. We want you to be certain that what we're telling you is true. If we tell you that you're good, you got nothing to worry about, we want you to believe that's true. And you can make sure of that by getting a structural engineer. Same is true with when we tell you that you have a problem. ParrottSS.com to find out more about it. Licensed, bonded, insured, E-Verify compliant, honest as the day is long, loaded with integrity and experience. That's Parrott Structural Services, ParrottSS.com, 668-2626. 820 Talk 99.5, Talk 995.com. The weather looks actually relatively decent right now. We're getting a high of 50, but 20% chance of rain is in the forecast. Today, 55 actually is where we're supposed to be. 52 tomorrow. Cold rain over the weekend. That's what we have been reduced to, which I can live with, assuming that they don't change it again tomorrow.
Yeah, in Alabama, really, some of the models that I'm looking at, ABC 3340 and James Pan putting some of these up, it has just the band of what's coming through slices through that middle half of Mississippi. So there's going to be some pretty lower communities in Mississippi that are going to get it. Somewhere like right in Alabama, there's just like this arch where it goes up, and it's lifted way up in North Alabama.
Good.
So this is a real blessing for us. We are, if you want to say dodging a bullet, we really, if this thing stays north and the moisture from the Gulf continues to surge on in here and push everything northward, we are really lucky. Because what we were looking at yesterday was not pretty.
Yep.
Yesterday we were like, oh boy, no one's going anywhere Saturday or Sunday, and potentially maybe even Monday, because the temperatures weren't going to get that much warmer than 32 degrees.
Yep.
So we're looking, things are looking better. Everybody keep your fingers crossed for Alabama.
Yeah, I could do without any of this nastiness.
Absolutely. Here's a good thing to do maybe as you think about the weekend, and maybe that's a time where maybe you're on the computer and maybe looking at maybe your finances and what's going on with it. Do you have a long-term plan financially? Not just like, hey, yeah, I'm putting a little money back here. I've got some in savings. I've got a little 401k going. I've bought a few investments. I'm doing this or that, and you're dabbling around. But is there a true plan? That's what the Knowles Group is all about. These guys, the professionals in this. And if you ever hear their show, and we hope you'll check it out Saturday and Sunday from 2 until 3 here on Talk 99.5, there's some really good information there. And that hour of knowledge is invaluable. Hopefully that will nudge you a little bit to get in touch with Danny Knowles and the Knowles Group to allow them to customize the plan for you. Because your plan may be different than your neighbor's or your coworker, depending upon, the size of your family, when you want to retire, what exactly you're doing right now. Those are all part of what Danny Knowles and the Knowles Group will consider when they talk to you. Find out what's going on, what's important to you, where you want to go, when do you want to retire. It's important to have that roadmap, and you can get that done with Danny Knowles and the Knowles Group. Visit their website. Don't forget Knowles is Knowles, Knowles. TheKnowlesGroup.com is the website, TheKnowlesGroup.com.
All right, why don't we go back and join President Trump a little bit more here in Davos and hear what he is talking. He's talking about Greenland right now. Says he won't use force to take it. Okay, make up your mind, Donald.
But he was at $10 for a pill. And I said, Emmanuel, and I have all the big pharmaceutical companies are in total agreement. It wasn't easy, by the way. They're tough, smart. They've been getting away with this scam for a long time. But they gave it up. But they said, you'll never get the countries to approve it. I said, why is that? Because they won't. They always said, we're not paying any more. Get the rest for the United States. So over the years, they stayed the same. We just went up, up, up. And I mean, we would pay 13, 14, 15 times more than certain countries would. So I said, no, they'll approve it 100%. So you'll never get them to approve it. I said, I guarantee you. But I actually started with Emmanuel, who probably is in the room too. And I like him. I actually like him. Hard to believe, isn't it? And I said, Emmanuel, you're going to have to lift the price of that pill to $20, maybe $30. Think of that. That means it's a doubling of prescription drugs. Might be a tripling, might be a quadrupling. It's not easy. No, Donald, I will not do that. I said, yes, you will, 100%. He said, no. You're asking me to double. I said, Emmanuel, you've been taking advantage of the United States for 30 years with prescription drugs. You really should do it, and you will do it. I have no doubt. In fact, I am 100% sure you're going to. No, I will not do it. Because he has to, in all fairness to him, he has to double or triple. Because the world being a bigger place than the United States, it's not that you meet in the middle. You just have to go up some, and we come down a lot. They go up a little, we come down a lot. So we're at $130, they're at 10. So they may have to go to 20 or 30. No more than that. I said, Emmanuel, you're going to be doubling or tripling? No, no, no. I said, here's the story, Emmanuel. The answer is you're going to do it. You're going to do it fast. And if you don't, I'm putting a 25% tariff on everything that you sell into the United States and a 100% tariff on your wines and champagnes. And that's about 10 times more than what I'm requesting. And you're going to do it. I don't want to go public with it, but you may make me do that. No, no, Donald, I will do it. I will do it. It took me, on average, 3 minutes a country, saying the same thing. You will do it. They all said, no, 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 I will not do it. You're asking me to double the cost of prescription. I said, that's right, because you've been screwing us for 30 years. And they said, we will not do it. I said, that's all right. On Monday morning, we're putting a 25, 30, 50. I gave different numbers for different countries. This is also national security we're talking about. Not fair. We're not going to subsidize the whole world. And every one of those countries have agreed to do it. So one of the biggest things that I've done is the fact that we have now most favored nation. We will pay whatever the lowest price is in the entire world. So our drug prices are going to be coming down by staggering 90%. Again, you could say 1,000%, 2,000%. Depends on the way you want to figure it, but we'll go with the way the fake news likes it better because it sounds, can you imagine a 90% reduction sounds much worse. But drug prices are going to be coming down tremendously in all the nations, and I appreciate them doing it, but they did it. In all fairness, without tariffs, I wouldn't have been able to get it done. After declining $3,000 under Biden, real incomes are up in the United States by $2,000, $3,000, and even $5,000 and more. Home ownership has always been a symbol of health and vigor of American society, but that goal fell out of reach for millions and millions of people in the Biden era because interest rates went up so high. Today, I'm taking action to bring back this bedrock of the American dream. In recent years, Wall Street giants and institutional investment firms, many of you are here, many of you are good friends of mine, many of you are supporters. Sorry to do this, Joe, I'm so sorry. But you've driven up housing prices by purchasing hundreds of thousands of single-family homes, and it's been a great investment for them. Often as much as 10% of houses on the market. You know, the crazy thing is a person can't get depreciation on a house, but when a corporation buys it, they get depreciation. Okay, that's something we're going to have to think about, too. I don't know if too many people think about that. You buy a corporation, they buy 500 houses, they buy hundreds of thousands, they buy 500 houses, they can take depreciation. A person sweats and works and buys one house, they can't. But homes are built for people, not for corporations, and America will not become a nation of renters. We're not going to do that. That's why I have signed an executive order banning large institutional investors from buying single-family homes. It's just not fair to the public. They're not able to buy a house. And I'm calling on Congress to pass that ban into permanent law, and I think they will.
Okay, there we are. Donald Trump, once again, box of frogs speech. He's all over the place. He's Greenland. He's talking about drug prices. He's not wrong on drug prices, by the way. The United States has kept drug prices high because we didn't put artificial price controls on. Every other country did. And the only reason drug companies continue to sell to them is because the United States makes up the difference. Like, you don't pay more than $6 for a prescription in Canada. And there are lots of prescriptions in the United States that cost $400 and more.
Oh, yeah.
Because we're making up for the prices in Canada and France and other places, which is insane.
I love the way he manhandles him.
Well,
It's like,
and
you will
then,
do this.
And then he goes and brags about it. And then I told him, you're going to do this. You're going to do this, McGraw. You're going to do this. I'm sorry, Emmanuel, you're going to have to do it. And he said, no, I'm not going to do it. I said, listen, Frog, I'll tell you what you're going to do. You know, you smell funny, very funny, very funny. You don't smell
funny.
good. It's not good. Dixon Divining, Talk 99.5, talk995.com. It is 8:35 on this Wednesday. We got 13 hours of live and local programming. You can listen to on our app if you will just download it. Go to the App Store. You can do this for Android. You can do this for iPhones. And you can download our app and have it with you at all times. Our TV is right there on the app. It's broadcasting us on the tube, like while you're listening to us on the app. It's cool. You can either just listen or you can watch, however you want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever
got the
works
option.
for you. Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Just one of the many cool things that we have going on here technologically.
Yeah, and you can call and text us from the app as well.
Yeah, man.
So you can listen, you can watch, you can text, you can call.
Yep.
Yeah, and the only thing we won't do is feed you from the app. It'll do just about
Not
everything
yet.
else.
We're working on
Yeah,
that. We're
maybe
going to
so.
get there eventually.
Think you could scratch and sniff it?
I'm hoping. That would be cool, wouldn't it?
You're like, oh, yeah,
Well.
pizza. I was kind of hungry.
Alabama Men's Clinic ready to get your testosterone under control. If you've got too little, they can jack it right back up for you, get where it needs to be, which is exactly what you are after. Making sure that your testosterone is in the zone between 600 and 900 is their business. Don't want it too high. You don't want to be up, hovering around 1,500. Get yourself a nice heart attack. No. You just want to be in that 600 and 900 range, squarely in the middle of that. It's 750, 800, something like that. Would make you a much better, happier human being, more energized, ready to go, not falling asleep immediately after dinner, sleeping better when you do sleep, losing weight when you go on diets, and adding muscle when you go to the gym, all this stuff that you have not been doing of late thanks to your low testosterone. First, you get a test. You got to go through that. That's a $99 experience. First initial consultation. They'll test your blood, find out where you stand testosterone-wise, and if it turns out that you are low, they will talk to you about the variety of options on how you can get it back up to where it needs to be. Same with ED. They can talk to you about the options for treating your ED, treating your hair loss or weight loss. They do all of this at the Alabama Men's Clinic. And, given the fact that we're only on this planet for a short time, why in the world would you want to spend any of it being less than happy with yourself? The Alabama Men's Clinic, 598-7000 online at alabamamensclinic.com. Make an appointment there in 30 seconds or less. Federal jury in Alabama last week awarded the Drummond Company what is believed to be the second largest plaintiff's verdict in the state's history. This is one of those kind of twists that comes. I love a good movie with a twist, a plot twist. You find out at the end that everything you've been watching up to this point isn't true, I mean, The Sixth Sense is probably the biggest, most popular version of a movie that has a plot twist at the end. We're like, oh, yeah.
Didn't see that one coming. Yes, we did.
I did see it coming, but a lot of people didn't see it coming, which is cool. I love a good twist, and this is one that we have been watching literally for years, as you have had a decade-long lawsuit that this law firm has been building, a campaign against Drummond, accusing it of human rights violations in Colombia. They have had witnesses. They have had folks that they have had testifying about just how horrible the Drummond Company is and all the terrible things that they're doing to people in Colombia, how mean they are, how awful they are, and how Drummond Company should come up with a whole lot of money to pay these people for trotting upon their international rights. And Drummond countersued and said, none of this is true. Mm-hmm. You're manufacturing this. And sure enough, they managed to uncover the fact that many of these witnesses were being paid. When that was uncovered, many of them admitted, yeah, okay, I made the whole thing up. These people were telling me I could get a lot of money if I just said this and this and this. And in the long run, the entire situation, the case against Drummond collapsed, and the case that Drummond filed against this law firm continued and maintained. Drummond collects $256 million.
As they should. I mean, talk about being put through it. I mean, some of these witnesses paid $400,000 for their testimony. Ooh, that is rotten. That is rotten to bring down a company like this.
Well, the good news is that human rights attorney Terrence P. Collingsworth and his organization, International Rights Advocates, can probably afford the $256 million. If they can afford to pay, You know, witnesses
$400,000.
$400,000. They could probably afford to pay $256 million. Obviously, they are going to appeal this, but Drummond contended witnesses paid a lot for their testimony. Defendant attorney said the payments were made for the witnesses' families' security. Collingsworth had accused Drummond of involvement in Colombian paramilitary murders, human rights abuses. Stories allege Drummond collaborated with the Auto Defenses Unidas de Colombia to eliminate suspected guerrilla troops from around the company's mining operations in Colombia. The company spent years denying the stories and defending itself in court several times in lawsuits stemming from these allegations. Jury awarded Drummond $52 million on claims of defamation, $68 million on the claim that the actions violated the Racketeer Influence and Corrupt Organization Act. The RICO provision was automatically tripled. Wow. Yikes.
Thank goodness for good attorneys with Drummond. You know what I mean?
Yeah, speaking of
That's
good
what you
attorneys, I
needed.
actually went to an outside person. Starnes Davis Flory represented Drummond in the suit, and you know they're going to take 40% of that $256 million.
That's the way it works.
Think about that. How much money are they getting? That's got to be about $100 million and change, you know? 105 million, 110 million, something like that. That's a law firm that is now rolling in it
Mm-hmm.
while Drummond goes the
But
other way.
if the other thing is, if you don't have somebody rock solid like these attorneys, then what are you left with? A tarnished reputation and, you know,
Yeah.
not good. So
Well, constantly having to fight. I mean, they basically shut this down by making it clear. Anybody that tries to make these claims, we're coming after you. We're not going to let go. We're not going to let up, and you're going to end up paying. And that's good. That's good news for you know, because you want justice to prevail. And while I'm not saying that Drummond is as pure as the driven snow, I'm quite sure they're not. Major corporations do have bad sides sometimes. They try to cut corners sometimes. We've certainly seen, I mean, good Lord, but 20 years ago, Dodge got in trouble because they knew about something that could feasibly cause a fire in their vehicles, and they went, it'll be easier to pay the claims than it would be to fix this. Yeah, I mean, and
That's
they
what they
literally
did. They weighed
yeah.
the odds
Yeah.
there,
and they literally,
Which-
unfortunately, had a record of them saying that.
which is not
But it
the
was
right
like,
thing
yeah.
to do. You're better off as a
Right.
company
Yeah,
biting the bullet and going, we need to fix this and do the right thing.
ended up with an over $1 billion verdict against them because an entire family died in one of their vehicles when the thing burst into flame and they couldn't get out of it. Terrible situation. And so, yeah, that ended up going to court, and Dodge ended up ponying up an awful lot of dough to come through on that. So, yeah, I'm not going to say that corporations are, you know, lily white, pure as the driven snow. They're not. However, in this particular case, Drummond fought back and won because they were right. They were in the right on this one. At least I assume they were. I mean, a jury certainly thought they were. A judge thought they were. Good enough for me. Donald Trump says he's not going to use force to take Greenland, but all we're asking for is a little place called Greenland. That's all we want. Look, now he's negating it. It was very important. It was extremely important for national security. Now it's like, you know, it's not even that big a place. There's not very many people there.
Which
There's very
is
few
it?
people. It's 148 people in the entire
There's
island nation.
more
It's
than
almost
148
nobody.
people.
Almost nobody is there. It's amazing. It's kind of a wasteland. I don't know why people even want it. We'll take it off your hands. That's who we are. That's the kind of people we are. We're really happy to have it. We'd be happy to take it. I went there. I looked at it and I said, this is nothing.
You have to sound a little sleepy today.
I'm sorry
'cause
about
he didn't
that.
get
Yeah.
a lot of rest.
He does have that. And he did that yesterday, too. He had that slow kind of cadence.
Yeah, he's slow.
Here's a
yeah.
murderer.
His head and neck are kind of like, you know, now
Yeah.
in his shoulders. You can tell he's just a little bit tired, but
It's not going to keep him from doing like a 3-hour speech,
No.
though, just so you know.
get to the point.
Yeah.
President Trump,
The
let's
fact
get to
that
the
he
point.
doesn't have any paperwork or teleprompters in front of him, that worries me.
He
that's
may have,
like-
well, we may not see the teleprompters.
I suppose it's possible.
Maybe they're a little further out.
Does he sound like he's talking off of prompters? Not,
no,
not what we've heard so
he's
far.
talking off the cuff.
Yeah.
It's the biggest, it's the greatest. He's talking
Yeah,
off the cuff.
he loves that.
Yeah.
My speeches are huge. They're fantastic.
Stupid people buying those
Everybody
windmills.
Stupid
that
people.
was owning
They
me
said
this
him to stupid.
morning.
And by the way,
The
they were
stupid
laughing.
people.
The crowd was laughing. And he's like, stupid people like you. I'm talking about you. Stop laughing. You're not that bright. I got to be honest.
The
You're not very
Chinese
good."
building the windmills,
Yeah.
and the Chinese aren't using them. They're just selling them to stupid people.
Oh, yeah.
And I do wonder what Trump's speechwriter's doing in the background going,
Oh, they're
okay, that
rolling
was
their
pretty funny.
eyes.
Or is he just sitting there cringing the whole time?
I think they don't care at this point. They've been through it enough. Probably they're going, okay, he's off script again.
Did you see when he was in the Oval Office and he was signing the declaration to put whole milk back in schools? And he had some milk there.
Yeah.
And that was like a prop,
Gallon glass jug of
Yeah,
it.
big old glass
Glass.
container of milk. And he's like, anybody want some of this milk? It's for the reporters. It's 5-6 days old. I think it's going to be okay. Finely aged milk. You should try some of this. I mean, and he's just going off the cuff, and he's hilarious when he does that. He'll just
He is.
sometimes just drift and have a good time. Oh, my goodness.
And allowed that little boy.
avocados.
There was a bunch of little kids in there with him as well, and allowed the little boy to explain about how the milk process. And
Yeah.
I thought that was adorable. He just sat there patiently, letting him go through it. Because, it's a moment that child will never forget. I mean, I'm in the Oval Office explaining to the president about the process of milk, where it comes from, what it has to go through.
Yep.
It's really cute. So I love that. I mean, I think things like that make Donald Trump more human. That we see that he has a sense of humor, that he's able to, be with kids and allow them to be in the Oval Office and talk.
Anytime he can meet with the Girl Scout who sold the most cookies, Fantastic. You're selling amazing cookies. I'll take 3 boxes. I need the Thin Mints right now.
That's right. And a Big Mac to go with it. 'Cause you get me a Big Mac.
8:45 with Dixon and Vining. 545-9950 if you'd like to chime in. Stick around. 8:50, Dixon and Vining, Talk 99.5, talk995.com. Weather situation has improved significantly since this morning. Really, we just got the news that we were going to not get that rain and snow. And in fact, even since then, they moved it all northward a little bit more.
Yeah, the ice
Which
is
is
what
nice.
we were worried about. We're still
Yeah.
going to get the rain.
Still get some cold
Yeah,
rain.
Yep.
Looks like it's going to be less cold rain now than it was even earlier today. So that's good news as everything gets shoved northward. Looks like Tennessee is going to be taking the brunt of the snow and the frozen
Yep.
rain, which is nice.
A lot of wet weather right now, looking at the radar back in Louisiana and Mississippi. All of that is coming our way.
Here it comes.
And we'll be dealing with it over the weekend. But the biggest blessing is the warm air from the Gulf of Mexico, Gulf of America, excuse me,
I was going to say.
coming up to
Hello.
Alabama. That's just pushed more and more north, and it's going to keep the temperatures to a point where we're not going to probably get that ice across the Birmingham metro area. How far north will they see it? That's, we still got a little time on that as well, and we'll have a better idea tomorrow. But today, big changes from what we saw yesterday, and a blessing that we're probably going to miss this ice storm for central Alabama.
Dodged ourselves a bullet
Big bullet,
there.
yep.
Lee says, text us, says Ford and the Pinto, talking about, companies that maybe weren't as honest and on the up and up as they could have been. Interestingly, no Pinto ever actually exploded. Did you know that? They just realized that there was a problem with it, that the bolts in the gas tank were like right there, and if anybody actually hit you in the rear-ended the Pinto,
boom,
the bolt could feasibly go right into that tank and off it would go. But it never.
So you're telling me the top secret didn't actually happen?
That looks good though, didn't it? That was a great little.
It's fantastic.
That was a great little gag. I thought that was pretty funny. Remember the saying, says Kyle, if you don't like the weather in Alabama, just wait a few minutes. Yeah,
so true.
that is true.
So true. Yeah, we were holding our breath yesterday, and we even talked about it, Richard. We said 5 days out, man, a lot can change. A lot can change the morning of. We saw that with the ice storm that trapped everybody in their cars all around the Birmingham area when everybody left the office at the same time.
Yes.
That, the prediction was we weren't going to get that. And within an hour or two, it's like, oh my gosh, everybody get out of your businesses, get home. You're going to get,
bad.
yeah, that was bad. So, hopefully now, there's more models and better technology that can help us even to predict that. But it is hard. The ice and snow is very difficult for meteorologists to predict.
Don't care for it.
No.
Here's a text from a nameless person. Dixon, Texas has a property class, parentheses, school tax, more or less. Yeah, I didn't say anything about property taxes. Of course there's property taxes. Yes, if you buy a piece of property, you will, in fact, pay taxes on that. And if you rent a piece of property, you're paying the owner's property tax, So, yes, that is true. Much in the same way you'll pay sales taxes. We're talking about businesses moving out of New York, moving out of California, moving to Texas, moving to Florida. Florida has property taxes, too. Florida's property taxes are approximately double what they are here in Alabama. So when I moved there and I thought I was going to be saving on income tax, I found out that my property tax went up by almost exactly as much as my state income tax was in Alabama. So,
Yeah.
not that big a fix, to be honest with you. James talking about the daycares in Opelika that are burning, says the daycares are probably involved in the fraud, truth be known. I don't know that that's true. Why would you make a statement?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit different situation there. Something's odd. Is somebody got somebody that they owe money to, and they're wanting to burn the businesses down to recoup the insurance
Owned
money?
by the same
who
people?
knows what's going on there? But I don't know that it's that situation.
Patrick says Trump and the president of Denmark need to have a cage match. Last man standing gets Greenland. Donald Trump is 80 years old. He's not doing that.
Nah.
He might
Although
get
he is a
someone to do
little
it.
taller and a little
Yeah.
bigger, probably.
He might get someone to do it in his place,
Maybe.
Choose your champion. I like it. This is weird. Wendy says, there are some of us that do want the snow and a little ice, not much ice, but little ice, but lots of snow that are south of Birmingham.
Really, Wendy?
Okay,
Which is
Wendy.
it? The snow or the
Hopefully
ice?
it'll just happen at your house.
Yeah.
She wants a lot of snow and a little bit of ice. That's
Wendy,
what
have
she's
you
looking
been
for.
through an ice storm? That is not any fun. There's nothing more
She
miserable
just wants
than
a
that.
little bit of ice.
I don't want any. Why would you want any ice?
Like when she goes through the drive-through at Sonic, she's like, just a little
just
bit
slide
of ice,
through
please.
the parking lot.
A little bit of ice in,
Hello,
that beverage.
let me just tell you that place will be closed if there's any sign of ice, unless you're a Waffle House. Thank goodness for the Waffle House employees.
Thank you, Waffle House.
Yeah.
Tom says, why does Taco Bell have things like quesarito, but can't do Mexican basics like tamales or chimichangas?
Oh.
They did have a tamale for a while, did they not? I thought they had a tamale. Maybe not. Maybe I'm thinking of something else. What came in the foil tray? Remember that? They had something
I
that
got
came
no
in
idea. I'm not a taco. I think I've eaten a Taco Bell once my whole life.
What?
One time.
Oh, my.
Because I was forced to.
I love the Bell.
According to what I can find, and this is a quote, Taco Bell hasn't prominently featured traditional tamales on their menu for a long time. They've experimented with tamale-like items.
Tamale-like. Okay.
Oh, that's good.
Okay.
That could be anything.
It's tamale-like. Also, the stuff
love
that's in
that.
there is meat-like,
You know
so
what?
that's good.
I'm going to go home and make some tamale-like
Mm-hmm.
tamales.
It's a cheese-style sauce. Chimichangas. I had a chimichanga at a Mexican restaurant not long ago. It wasn't here. It was up in Chattanooga. Unbelievably
Yeah,
good.
those are good.
Oh, my God.
That's a lot of food, too.
Man, I love a chimichanga.
You
A
can
good chimichanga.
split a chimichanga.
Yeah, I actually devoured the entire thing. I was kind of surprised that I could get it all down. It was the only thing I ate that day, which had a
Yeah.
lot to do with it, I think. But
Mhm.
yeah, I went straight to the bottom of that sucker. It was fantastic. Let me see if there's anything else here. That's Will points out that it is La Big Mac. We're going back quite a ways on that
La.
reference there. La Big Mac.
How about this? This is great. And I so feel your pain, Don, because last night I was looking online for him.
Mm-hmm.
He says, I knew it would nice when I went yesterday and spent $732 on propane heaters.
Yeah, just in case you lost power.
Well, you can
Okay.
return it. You
Mhm.
can return it. Don't you know that Love's
Or
are
you'll
Lowe's
be
or Home
prepared for the
Depot?
next time
Yeah,
around.
I mean, you just don't know.
Good idea.
In the
to keep
winter, if you
around.
have no other source of heat,
Mhm.
if you have no heat source,
Mm.
then you probably needed that.
Seems like for every and any severe or winter weather, the line is 5920. Yeah, that does seem to be the case of storms of all kinds. You always hear north of I-20. Maybe they just built I-20 in the exact right place, you know?
May have.
They just got that thing right where it needs to be so you can use it as a dividing line. Much like Wesley's booby hatch being in the perfect place.
Booby
that you
hatch.
can reference it. Booby trap, I'm sorry. Wesley's booby trap.
What are we hatching there?
I don't know.
Don't ask.
You think I'm going there on a regular basis?
You don't ask questions you do not
they
want to
call
know
it a
the
trap
answer to.
for a reason.
Irregular at best. New York City lost nearly 5,000 businesses last year as employers closed their doors or left for other low-tax states. Now, they opened 3,500 new businesses, but they lost over 8,400 employers. Weakest quarter for business formation since the height of the COVID-19 pandemic. A lot of this has to do with the fact that Mamdani was elected. Once that happened, or once it looked likely, that's when businesses started going, well, screw this.
We're out.
I'm done.
Bye-bye.
Guts to go.
Mm-hmm.
Don't really think I want to stick around to see how this thing falls on hard times. There was a sports reporter the other day, fairly well-known guy in New York City. I could reference him and you wouldn't know who he was. But he was talking about this thing. Look, I'm a diehard New Yorker. I've lived here my entire life. I'll live here till I die. I can't imagine living anywhere else. But there's no denying that this place is falling on hard times. It's nowhere near what it used to be 20 years ago. It's nowhere near what it used to be 40 years ago.
10 years ago,
Yeah.
I'll give it even
yeah,
that.
Yeah. And he says, the place is slowly falling apart. It's corrupting. It's just decaying before our very eyes. I can understand why businesses want to leave. He was talking about sports franchises, saying it's getting harder and harder for these New York teams to get the really great players because they look at the tax rates in New York and they go, okay, well, you're offering me more money, Yankees, but so much of it would get eaten up in taxes that I will actually get a better deal out of the Marlins. I'll go there, pay no state income tax.
Makes perfect sense.
They're offering me a third less, but I'll actually end up keeping more of it.
That's right.
So, and that is a real problem.
Well, Mamdani just said the other day he wants to abolish ICE.
Yeah.
Well, okay, New York, you probably need ICE agents in New York. There's probably a lot of illegal aliens that live and are there in New York City. So you're going to abolish that. You're not going to support men and women in law enforcement. I mean, these taxes and what he's doing with the city. Oh, everybody gets free, ride the subway free, childcare free, everything free. That is a disaster for that. That is going to be a disaster policy for that city. There's no way.
Everything you need to know. If you're going to, if you're in favor of abolishing ICE, or you're in favor of ICE not doing their jobs, then you're just in favor of open borders. There's no punishment for wandering in here. There's no punishment for showing up and committing crimes. You're not ever going to get nabbed and sent back home again.
That's what he's saying.
Just leave the border open then. You know what? Why in the world should we close it? That doesn't make any sense.
I'll tell you what, if you're an illegal alien, maybe you're in Minnesota, just head to New York City. Mom Donnie's welcoming you with open arms.
The lack of foresight here is astounding.
It's ridiculous.
9 a.m. Dixon Dividing Talk 99.5, talk995.com.